So, Pierre Polyev, breaking. In September, Mark Carney, some people call him Marx Carney, like Karl Marx. Mark Carney, though, or Marx Carney, as some people call him, Mark Carney officially became the chair of Trudeau's task force on economic growth. Now, he had been advising since 2020 before that as well. In October, Carney met with the deputy director of the People's Bank of China. Just 2 weeks later, news broke that Brookfield secured a $250 million loan from the Chinese state-owned bank. Now he owes a hostile foreign regime, and his interests are against Canada's interests. Well, China's interests aren't in Canada's interest. Why won't he reveal to Canadians all of his conflicts? Well, let's take a look at this. Mark Carney to chair Leaders Task Force on Economic Growth, September 9th, 2024. The Canadian asset manager has an offshore senior loan of about $700 million due year-end that funded its purchase of the mixed-use property site from Greenland Hong Kong Holdings. The company has secured a 15-year onshore loan of 1.96 billion won, 276 million, from the Bank of China. So it feels like there could be a conflict of interest in all of this, right? Brookfield. Now, China seems to think a lot of Mark Carney. In fact, they even interfered in the Liberal leadership race on his behalf. Freeland targeted by malicious WeChat campaign with alleged ties to China. The Security and Intelligence Threats to Elections Task Force site said in a release Friday an information operation directed at Freeland was traced to WeChat's most popular news account, an anonymous blog that experts have linked to the People's Republic of China. WeChat is obviously a Chinese app, and we know that China has been influencing the Chinese diaspora in Canada politically to support politicians that China supports, not for the good of Canada, for the good of China. Maybe ones that they feel like they can influence on their behalf for their own benefit. So this all seems like kind of important stuff, doesn't it? Really, doesn't it? I want to show you something here. Prior to his resignation, Carney did not own direct shares in Brookfield Asset Management Limited outright. However, he held financial interest through deferred share units and stock options from his tenure as senior executive and board chair. Now, how might he benefit from that? As of late 2022, when he became a reporting insider due to his chairmanship, he held 41,357 DSUs. That's deferred share units, valuing at approximately 3.2 million Canadian. Additionally, by the end of 2024, he held options on 409,000 shares with an average strike price of $37, valued at $6.8 million US dollars based on the stock's price then. So, deferred payout. DSUs are usually paid out in cash or shares only after a specified event, such as leaving the company or retirement. This deferral allows Carney to delay receiving the income, potentially letting the value accumulate over time as Brookfield's stock appreciates, especially given the long expiration dates of his related stock options, 2033 or 2034. So how Brookfield does while he's prime minister does affect Mark Carney's wealth. Blind trust or not, this was a loan to Brookfield from China. It all starts to get awfully tangled and awfully kind of ripe for corruption and perverse incentives, does it not?
People will charge me as being elitist or a globalist, to use that term, which is, that's exactly, it happens to be exactly what we need.
Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.